Hey everybody, welcome to the Lightning Zone, and today's episode is Befriend, a foreign film. We're going to be talking about the story Wadjda, which came from Saudi Arabia, and we have really enjoyed learning more about this film as well as the actual watching of it. So let's dive in.
Wonderful. So there's so much to talk about this film, but the thing that I absolutely love about it the most is really the character of Wadja. She is, as you can imagine, she lives in a conservatively religious area of Saudi Arabia, and she is up against so many heavy systems. The school system run by very strictly religious women, the larger system of men, and everything that she's expected to do. And yet, so she's dressed in black from head to toe, yet she has colorful things in her hair and those purple
And
tennis
those
shoes.
purple, yeah, high tops.
Uh-huh. And when she gets in trouble for those, then she takes a marker and she kind of goes over the purple, but she doesn't get rid of those high tops. What
She
are some of your favorite moments, Amy?
Well, so at the very beginning, and we always talk about the inciting incident and theme and how integral they are into a story, and this story puts them together really well. And it starts right there at the very beginning when Abdullah steals her scarf, her headscarf, um, and then she's panting, she's coming up to him, he's stopped, and he says
He's on a bike and
he's on a
she's running
bike.
after him. Yeah,
Yes,
and she
he's
doesn't
on a
have a
bike
bike.
and running from her, and finally, she gives up. He comes back and he's a little bit sorry, but he says, did you really think you could catch up with me? And he's on that bike. There's that desire that she gets for a bike. There is that underlying statement like, you're a girl, I'm a boy, you're never going to catch up with me in anything, not just running, but in life, in the things you're allowed to do, and just living. I mean,
Yeah.
men are the rulers, and they are the ones that make all the rules.
So just to make sure we make this clear, that sets up the whole story, which is girls aren't allowed to have bikes. And so she is determined to get a bike one way or another. And she tries two or three different ways to get the bike. And it's just so interesting because we get to know so much more about the Saudi Arabia culture. And watching it as an American, I'm sure that we're probably missing things because we don't really know, but it does give you a good beginner's glimpse into what that society might be for women. And so we normally each give our favorite quote from the movie. But this for this movie, we're giving our least favorite quotes because they're just amazing, amazingly terrible. um, and so the first one is, and these all come from the teachers at the school. The female teachers at the school are telling these girls, if you can see the men, they can see you. Respectable girls, go inside. Don't touch the Quran if you are on your period. And a woman's voice must not be heard by a man outside. Her voice is her nakedness. There's just so many devastating moments in this film,
Yeah.
and the one that probably touched my heart the most was there's a little family tree on her wall in her family room, and it's only the men. And she takes a little piece of paper and writes her name, Wadja, on it, and she sticks it on the family tree, close, on the branch that her father's on. And later, when she comes in, she finds that piece of paper crumpled up on the floor. And so these are some of the things she's up against. We're not going to tell you the end, surprise, because we spoil everything. But we really want to invite you to go see this movie. We're going to finish our segment up with a little, very short movie by the filmmaker, Haifa Al Mansour. And this is another reason why I love this movie is that she's the first female Arabian filmmaker and the first feature film shot entirely in Saudi Arabia.
And what's really also cool about this, they actually shot this in the religious quarter. And so the whole film crew had to abide by the religious rules. female and male casts couldn't talk to each other directly outside. The females had to be, the women had to be covered up. And I do want to, mention a little bit, because Wadja's mother has to rely on a man to drive her, pick her up, and stuff. And it's not because she doesn't know how to drive; it's because women are not allowed to drive. And my dad served over in Saudi, and he's just would always comment how there would be these cars zipping around, and they would have a young boy, like a 10, 11-year-old, at the steering wheel, but the mom was reaching over, and she was working the pedals and doing everything from beside him. She's running everything, but to presenting themselves as it's the boy actually driving, and that's how they got away with it. Trying to get around. It's and I don't know, that's been quite a while since Saudi. I don't know if anything's changed very much, but according to this 2012 film of Wadjda, I would guess not much.
That's a perfect metaphor for this film and how Wadjda is trying to work the system, for her own freedom and joy, quite frankly.
My name is Haifa Mansour, and I am a Saudi filmmaker. I had a glass ceiling like I was working in an oil company back in Saudi, and I wasn't being promoted, and all my promotion went to my male colleagues because they have families to support, or not because of merit. And I felt really frustrated as a young person. As a filmmaker, I always want to tell stories of women who are not victims of their situations. They should be masters of their own destiny. As a filmmaker, as a director on set, I'm always challenged with people who are undermining my authority just because of my gender. I had one time to capture a man. I told him, if you have a problem getting orders from me, close your eyes and imagine I'm a middle-aged white man. And that happened in Hollywood, where I'm working right now on a film with Western men. It is not women against men. It is not that situation at all. It is just equal opportunities. Women should not be afraid of facing a challenge. Everything is challenging, especially for us women, because there are so many things they haven't done yet. I'm very hopeful about women, and I'm very hopeful because there are a lot of amazing women I've seen that are working really hard, and they are very capable of doing so much. And I think the world is noticing.
Wadjda is just such a great example of the power of story and the difference that a film like this can make in the world. And so we just love stories like this, and we encourage you to watch more foreign films and learn more about the cultures that are maybe different from your own.